Alright, so I've got some questions about Sentry Mode and the dash cam. So this will be a video in a few parts put together, but number one, your dash cam, you go into your controls and then you open your glove box. And then it might be hard to see that shiny thing right there. That's actually the USB stick for the dash cam. It comes built in. Let me see if I can reach it. It's Tesla branded. So it's a USB-A stick. It's kind of really hard to get in there. Okay guys, you'll be so proud of me. I've set the autofocus exposure lock, so when I put my finger in the way, it won't go blurry. You're welcome. Alright, so a few things about Sentry Mode. You can turn on Sentry Mode here in controls, either right here or up here at the top. You can toggle this. You can simply press that button to enable Sentry Mode. So if we go to safety, so if we go here to safety, you can generally turn Sentry Mode on and off by default, but you can exclude home, work, favorites. You see here, maybe I can zoom in. I've excluded home so that it doesn't record Sentry videos when I'm at my residence. Maybe I should turn that off and leave it everywhere. So what happens is anytime I'm at home and I park, this up here is off. Sentry Mode is not on, but I just went to Kroger. The minute I parked, that button was red, just like this, because I wasn't at home and Sentry Mode was enabled by default. So there are some options here. Let's look at the dash cam options. I'll pause for just a second on this, but the auto is to save up to 10 minutes. So that means it has a constant recording of at least 10 minutes of video from the time the car starts, I believe, and turns on, like driving. I'll always keep 10 minutes running, and then it'll bookmark and save those 10 minutes to a separate file so it doesn't get overwritten if there's an incident. You can do manual, where it doesn't save unless you press the button, and the button would be down here. You can simply press and hold, and you can customize what apps are down below, and I like to have the dash cam one there just so I can tap it manually, and that's just because I want to be sure that I can get a recording when I want it. I don't know if I want to trust the auto just yet. Of course, you also have on honk, which means it'll just save that video when you honk. And lastly, let me show you this. If I press this button down here, this is what's supposed to save a dash cam video. And if we zoom in, you see that it actually has a pause button now. I don't know if that means it's supposed to be recording right now and I can pause it. Alright guys, I finally figured out what I was doing wrong through user error. Excuse me, believe it or not, the dash cam did not seem to be as intuitive as I expected. And so now it's just working flawlessly. Let me explain what it's doing though. I think what I have to do is unbuckle my seatbelt to get an easy entry mode. Now let's see this. Yes, okay. This is what I've been missing. So I've been testing this a lot, and I've essentially been, oh, this is working beautifully. Maybe I have to go back and re-edit my video. I'll probably take out some stuff now that I know what's going on. But here's the breakdown. You've got two different video modes in a Tesla. You've got Sentry Mode. Sentry as in being on guard. That's when your car is parked and it senses movement or some kind of motion near your car. It's automatically going to record, and it's just going to keep them indefinitely until you delete them or until the drive runs out of space, and then it'll start cycling over. The dash cam. Believe it or not, I had a lot of trouble with this because most of the time I was trying to operate dash cam while I'm parked. Not while I'm stopped, but while I'm parked. If you notice at the beginning of this video, I had to unbuckle my seatbelt to go from my profile into easy entry, which that, in my mind, that's like the car is officially parked, because even though I had it in the parked gear, I was still in here ready to move. So when I took off my seatbelt, suddenly this button down here for dash cams pulls up the kind of like the dash cam or the TeslaCam browser, where I can see Sentry, I can see dash cam, when you're not parked, when you're driving, or if you are parked but like your seatbelt's still buckled and so the car thinks you might still be driving, this button operates differently, and that's the key. You saw at the beginning of this video, I hit it a couple times and it kept saying saving dash cam, because I hadn't taken off my seatbelt yet. So think of the dash cam as what happens when you are not parked or really exiting your vehicle, right? So any video while you're moving or before you've exited your vehicle will be recorded on the dash cam. When you have parked and exited your vehicle, based on motion settings, all your videos will be in the Sentry panel. That blew my mind because a lot of times as I was testing this video, I would be parked, or I would get in the car and I wouldn't put my seatbelt on because I'm just sitting in here for a minute to make a video, and I keep coming up into the browser wondering why it's not recording. Why aren't you saving my clips? So that's the big thing for dash cam to work, and it does work successfully and every time, but you have to understand what it's being used for. You have to be driving, number one, so that it has something to save, and I believe you actually have to save it before you exit the vehicle. If you don't, it may not show here, although it will show in the recent clips section. As I was shown previously, Tesla keeps, I don't know exactly how much, but it keeps like a bunch of clips. I think they're in like 1 minute increments saved from the 4 main driving cameras. That's the front, back, and the 2 repeaters, the little fancy ones under the mirrors. And it keeps all of those in the recent clips section. I have not yet seen any B-pillar clips in there, by the way, which might be why I was so confused before, thinking that, kind of forgot that those cameras existed, because no matter where I go in the TeslaCam footage, you don't see any feeds from those cameras. Very interesting. So here's what it looks like when you plug your USB drive into your computer. You'll see recent, saved, and Sentry clip folders. In recent clips, you'll have 1 minute segments from all 4 of the normal recording cameras on the car, back, front, and the 2 repeaters on each side. I don't know how far back these go. Mine only go back a few days. I don't know why I didn't delete them. I'll try and figure that out later. When we go to Sentry clips, you're going to see folders representing timestamps of all the saved Sentry events. In this case, this goes back to about 2 weeks after I leased the car, which is when I actually turned on Sentry mode. And then if we back up and go to saved clips, these are where your dash cam clips will be saved, again in a folder that's timestamped, and it'll just have copies of those recent clips from each camera saved in that folder representing the time that you clip the dash cam. It should save up to 10 minutes, but if you don't have 10 minutes worth of content, it'll just save what it has for that length of the drive. All right, just to show you how difficult this is to put back in, at least in the Model 3, I have to do some kind of pincher grip here because there's no room in here once you get really down in there. So, yes, I will show a moment of me fiddling with this. I have to kind of use that pincher grip. Miss a couple times, didn't even get it. There we go. Push it in. That's really a pain in the butt. I might suggest, if you're really interested in dash cam clips, make sure you get a USB-A type, the flat square USB-A type cable, and get your own SSD hard drive maybe to keep and place in here. Something with a cable that can be detached from the drive versus having to pull the whole thing out, because that really is a pain to get to.